Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day. My name is Aliah Maisarah binti Jalani. So today me and my group gonna explain about our report assignment for land economics, which is development for Brownfield site. So for the part A, for this presentation, I'm going to talk about the summary of the purpose layout, which is located at the Pandan Safari Shopping Complex, Padang Perdana, Kuala Lumpur. So for the idea of development, we choose to redevelop a hypermarket as refer to our site analysis and apply the concept of highest and best use to make sure our development is success and will bring profit and benefit the neighborhood. Our redevelopment project objective is to help municipality and make the best use of the existing land and also establish the diversity and the desirable in the communities.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurshiela Ardilla binti Muhammad Jipri, and I will continue to explain about our background of case study. Okay, so we as a group finally decided to choose Pandan Safari Shopping Complex, which is exclusive, that situated in Pandan Safari Lagoon at Kuala Lumpur as our case study. The uniqueness of Safari Lagoon that built on the roof of a 7-story building make this building was very popular. It is the first rooftop water theme park in Kuala Lumpur. But for you guys' information, Safari Lagoon was closed in 2007 due to has been operated without a license for 8 years. Other than that, one of the employee drowned due to being trapped in a high pressure water suction. The employee was reported dead while trying to pick up the items left by the visitors. That's all.
Next, I'm going to explain about the idea of redevelopment for our Brownfield site, which is we chose to redevelop a hypermarket because of several factors, which is number one is it can benefit a consumer in that area at a large due to the number offering of production and services. It's also highly accepted by a Malaysian consumer as the main channel to purchase the basic households, and type of hypermarket industry nowadays create a huge impact for a modern retailing concept as it has been developing impressively become needs to the local people. It also located at good location, neighborhood and accessibility with a very strategic location and a various development at the surrounding areas. It can be a main attraction to the local people, and there's a demand in this area for hypermarket. And it also can open a good opportunity to expand a socio-economic in this area. Next is because of the low level of competitive within this area. Next, I'm going to explain about the specialization activities that we conduct in our Brownfield site. So after considering the problem of scarce resources and the condition of existing building, we choose urban regeneration redevelopment for our Brownfield site. The urban regeneration development method that we chose is a refurbishment method, as the will focus on a major refurbishment as the existing building has been abandoned for more than 10 years, and the purpose of using this major refurbishment is to secure and safety the sustainability of the existing building. There is 3 stages that involve for a refurbishment development for our hypermarket, which is number 1 is the building investigation. One of the main step in the refurbishment development as the process in order to obtain sufficient information about the existing building, and this process include the examination and observation of the condition, interior and exterior of the existing building. Next is the recommendation of refurbishment will be carried out between the investigation team and the developer in order to discuss and consider the investigation results according to the budget that been stated by the developer or a client. Then we'll start for the construction for the refurbishment according to the design from the developer or client. For refurbishment will be different than a new construction because refurbishment will focus on the process of restoration of the building, structures, element, interior and exterior renovation and upgrading process.
For the government intervention, PBT or the local authority is closely related to our redevelopment. Through their implementation mechanism, it is very beneficial to our redevelopment, as one of the effect of the mechanism is shorten the time taken to receive approval for a redevelopment project of the brownfield area. PBT and the state government also create the database or GIS of the brownfield area of the brownfield area. Effect from those standards set by the PBT is that our development will be based on the planning guideline, and it is according to the requirement of the existing legal provision, while it not going to burden our redevelopment financially. So for the next is the hierarchy or hazard identification, risk assessment and risk control is the regulation that will be imposed on our redevelopment by the Department of Occupational Safety and Health. It is important for our development is that it influences our planning, practice, management and operation of the project. The regulation have to analyze the risk of the project and protect the safety of the workers. There are also other government intervention, general government intervention for the brownfield, which is in reducing the number of brownfield area to stricter international migration, increase the number of urban regeneration, and recognizing the problem of brownfield. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Nazihah binti Ismail, and today I will be explaining to you regarding the local activities that are applicable for our redevelopment sites in Padang Perdana, Kuala Lumpur. For the first applicable local activities that can be done for the redevelopment of hypermarket is the hypermarket store, which it will be consist for the consumable goods that can be purchased by the customer for the daily uses. Example of the product that could be found inside of the hypermarket store is food and beverages, electrical products, household items and others. From the sales of consumable product of hypermarket store, it's able to generate the economic income of Malaysia. The next one will be the retail shop. For the retail shop, the operator business for the hypermarket will be rent out the retail shop to any of the seller that interested to sell their product. So the retail shop, they can turn it into the gadget and accessory shop, fashion and clothes shop and others. Which from this does not only give profit to business operator of the hypermarket, but also to the sellers that rent the retail shop in this hypermarket. It also create the variety element for the hypermarket that does not only consist the hypermarket store, but also with the retails for the customer to come into the one room stops at the Padang Perdana. Also at the hypermarket, the local activity can be applicable will be the food court. For the food court, the main focus will be for the sales of the food and beverages. The food court could be consist of the local cuisine, fast food and many more, which could attract more customers to came for the hypermarket. Lastly, for the local academic activities that are applicable for the hypermarket will be the small entertainment center or known as arcade. The profit that will be gained by the local academies that be done is by the sellings of token, which being used to play any machine that been provided. The small entertainment center might be consist of floor doll machine, the basketball arcade game, kids arcade ride, which could attract kids and teenagers to come and enjoy. From this, it is able to give the profit and capital gain that could be enjoyed by the business operator in the future.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khalida binti Shuhaimi, and today I am going to present the last of part A, which is about market study. The first of all is the volume of transaction in the first half 2019. As you can see, the commercial subsector recorded about 10,760 units in the first half 2018, while 12,960 units in the first half 2019. So there is an increasing in the number of transactions in 1 year period, which brought up to 20.4% growth rate. This expansion is mainly due to the demand of supply in the commercial subsector, as our development of hypermarket is in the category of commercial. This has shown a good sign for the development to be successful in the future. Next is the year-on-year percent change in retail sales by retail subsectors. As our planned development is under the category of supermarket and hypermarket, the data by the Retail Group Malaysia have shown a positive response, as in the fourth quarter, it has been given a growth rate of 0.5%, which bring the total of growth rate 0.7% in a year. Therefore, through this analysis, this is the reason why we choose to develop a hypermarket, as it has been recorded increasing in the growth rate. Next is the sales forecast by retail subsector. As you can see, in 3 months apart, the retail group Malaysia estimate that there will be another increases in the growth rate, which is in the next year after that. For the first 3 months of the year, the supermarket and hypermarket in the area of KL, there will be a 0.9% growth rate. So this has been proof that there is a great demand from the people. Not to forget that the expert as well has forecast that the hypermarket and growth rate will be increasing in the next upcoming year, which could become the decisive for great impact and impression received from the publics.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Mohd Arman and I will be presenting on the layout and the government intervention. So for our layout, it is suggested to be developed on the site of the now closed Econcave Pandan Perdana Kuala Lumpur. It is built to accommodate the growing demand in the Pandan Perdana and surrounding area. The parking space provided for the customer The parking space is also provided for the customer and could accommodate up to 400 vehicles at a time. There is also several space provided for the kiosks and small businesses. This layout also includes a ATM section which easily accessible by the customer. So for the main area of the layout plan, the space will be prepared for the hypermarket businesses with its own layout. It is where the groceries, the fresh product located with several other sections, which is the health and beauty product, grab and go section, frozen products and such. There are also several other spaces for the storage facility for the product provided in the layout. In the layout, there will also be toilet and there will also be several space for toilet and other amenities, which provide the basic necessity for the customers. While for the workers, there will be a break room and office area provided for the accommodation of.
Next is about the predicted impact towards the redevelopment proposal. In terms of economy, the redevelopment will be able to provide a job opportunity to locals as they may start a business by renting one of the retail stores in the hypermarket or even work as one of the staff in the grocery market. Other than that, it will also increase the chances of people visiting the area of Pandan Perdana as they can visit the hypermarket to fulfill their grocery needs. When more people visit the area, the value of the property surrounding will also increase as the area is starting to gain more attention from people. Next is in terms of the social. The redevelopment will ease the locals in so many ways. For example, they will not have to travel far to fulfill their grocery needs. Other than that, it is also can improve their standard of living, which will reduce the crime rate level in the area and makes it much safer to live in. Lastly is the infrastructure. Infrastructure system is very important as it is including the transportation, communication networks, sewage, water and electrical systems. When it is improved, it can facilitate the surrounding population as the systems are very much organized.
Okay, and then the last part is about relevant authority that could lead the success of redevelopment. Okay, depending on the case study, we should have to be involved and cooperated with the local authority, which is Kuala Lumpur City Hall, that known as TBKL, within the success of long abandoned and dilapidated of Safari Lagoon Shopping Complex in Pandan Perdana. Okay, to make this building successful, the suggestion is to redevelop a hypermarket using the refurbishment concept because of the condition of buildings still look sustainable. Okay, refurbishment is the most effective option for us to check with the local authority in town and planning development. Apart from that, we should get a written consent letter from state authority to exchange the express conditioning of the shopping mall. The close cooperation between the government and Malaysian tourism industry has enabled Malaysian to receive various recognition due to shopping is a lucrative component in the tourism industry. That's all from me.
To conclude the presentation for today, our group have been given some information regarding the redevelopment of the Brownfield site able to give beneficial profit. So for the selected Brownfield for our case study, Pandan Safari Shopping Complex. From this, we can see that they have many dwellers surrounding the area. By the redevelopment of hypermarket, able to give them an enjoyment. Next, refurbishment is one of the best methods on the urban regeneration, which we can extract that it able to reduce the amount of capital should be invested for the development. Last but not least is government able to enjoy the profit and gain from the redevelopment in the future. So from this, hypermarket consists of many local activities which could attract more customers, it is much better to do the redevelopment, as if we just let the brownfield areas keep up abandoned, it does not give any beneficial profit for the government itself. So that's all from us for the presentation of the urban regeneration at the brownfield areas, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you.